Hello guys, Dyutam Joy from Dauntless Dyutams here. Welcome to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 Part 9. We are playing this game in Master of Deduction difficulty. Follow us in Facebook and Twitter. Links are given below. Last part we visited Stonewood Manor where we were searching for evidence required to know the reason behind Mrs. Violet Holmes' death. We came across an invitation to visit Mr. VV Art Gallery. We will begin this part by visiting his art gallery. So without much delay, let's start investigation as Sherlock Holmes. Let's begin. So guys, before beginning of this part, let me show you one thing. That we are playing this game in Master of Deduction difficulty in investigation segment, and in combat it is balanced. So let's proceed. So there it is. We have to go in the intersection of Hermes Avenue and Bazaar Road. And nearest travel point is this. So let's go. Guys, let us change Sherlock's attire. Yeah, why not? All right. Let us give John a new attire. Why not? Let us go, detective. Is this the art gallery?
Mr. Holmes, you came! Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific! I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
Oh. Yes, describe the events.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Yes, I'm intrigued.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
Okay, so we need to go in the under gallery. But before that, let me see here something. Love and Pain, Edward Munch. The Yellow Christ, Paul Gauguin. The paintings. Pope Formos with Stephen VI. John Paul Lawrence.
You sure you don't like art, Sherry?
Don't know, John. There is the basement.
Back home we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
A simplistic attempt at provocation. The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame. Old, and hasn't been used for a long time.
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken, John. A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane. Sodden and mould-ridden. One presumes deliberately. Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache. A Maupau butt.
So let me see what we have in Mind Gallery. A Muse from abroad. Coal footprints. So in A.C. Swinburne's room, we located a coffin with a skeleton inside, which had been slightly moved. On the coffin lid, someone had left a coal handprint. A coal footprints trail had been left on the floor in I.Y. Franco's room. The left step is shorter than the right, which indicates lameness. A pile of ashes from burned paintings lies on the floor, but one of the frames appears to be empty. Near them, we found a Maupau cigarette, but with a coal fingerprint. Okay. Anything else? The vandalism of the undergallery. Last evening, Vogel heard a noise from the undergallery. He descended the stairs but failed to check thoroughly. Anything else we missed?
Closed with a metal bolt. Footprints. Size 9.5.
Okay. So before this, let us read what we got. So a coal hatch in I.Y. Franco's room was bolted closed, but on the other side of its door we found fresh scratches with magnets filling inside the hatch. Someone had left several footprints. Who is this someone?
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room, but the vandalism was a cover for the theft.
So let us see. Any update? The noise was caused by the intruder who entered the basement through the coal chute. When we heard Vogel coming downstairs, the intruder hid inside the coffin. He waited until Vogel left the caravanserai. It is hard to pronounce such word. Before vandalizing the art space. Afterwards, he took down the paintings from O. Wilde's room and burned them. But that could just be a cover for the theft. Okay.
A true artist never shows an unfinished piece. The parasites of creativity, or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Saturn devouring his sun. Oh, grim composition.
Very, very
Unflinching in
frightening.
its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
Beautiful. Are you serious, John?
The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
It's about decay, decadence. It's about death. Why not?
It's a reflection on mortality. Nothing lasts forever, no beauty sustains itself, and everything succumbs to darkness. Am I right?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
So the limping visitor.
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
Where does Mercurio live? Yep.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Describe the painting.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
Sure. So let us see. So painting that might be stolen. It depicts a roped woman in the act of love with a devil, looking at the viewer with a crowd gathered around them. The devil is red with numerous tails sprouting from his back. One of a series called Sabbath Night in Cordona. Okay. So Vogel said that the artist Boniface Mercury lives somewhere in Old City, but he doesn't know where exactly. He also mentions that Mr. Mercury is a prominent person. So we have to find the address of Boniface Mercury. I think we have to go to newspaper archive. Let's go.
Stop the presses. Who is Cordona's handsome stranger? Or Nosebagger spurns local life. Wait, no. Foppish foreigner hides dark past. Oh, you've made quite the impression already, Mr. Holmes. You care to tell your side of the story?
I'm quite certain I have no idea as to what you refer, and I am further certain I have no interest in indulging your gossip.
Gossip? The truth will come out, but will only be heard if told well. Scandal, daring-do, romance. These are the tools of every good journalist. Nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a great story. Young man, your tale will be told with or without you. My readers demand it.
You already knew my name and seem aware of my doings here in Cordona. I presume this newspaper is your little endeavor?
Yasmin Sertel, editor-in-chief of the Cordona Chronicle. Advocate of the free press, voice of the people, scourge of the silk stocking.
Charmed, I'm sure. As an advocate of the free press, I trust you'll permit me to consult your archives? There are gaps in my knowledge of Cordona.
Oh, so my work does have merit. Well, I think we can strike a bargain. I shall provide you access, and you let me keep writing about your exploits.
So be it.
Brooding bachelor builds bridges. Now that's character development.
I guess I owe you my gratitude.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes. They whisper such interesting things.
Thank you, ma'am. So period recent people, it is celebrity, yeah, obviously, and district is old city. Aha, the brawl at artists sell out. Sorry. The past week has brought us a new scandal regarding the local so-called artist hire society. It all began at the painting sellout named by local artist as the Dance of Decadence. The director of a publishing house, the lion Darren Turwick, broke the ideal by throwing a chair at a decadent artist, Boniface Mercurio. As Mr. Turwick said later, he did it because Mr. Mercurio brought dishonor to his name. The column writer graciously reminds the reader that recently Mr. Mercurio was spotted with Mrs. Turwick at a coffee shop. Afterwards, an orchestra conductor, Kurt Gallagher, smashed a painting across Mr. Turwick's head to protect his friend Mercurio. A large brawl started, including a large number of the customers. After a protracted fight, the police arrived. All the high society brawlers were arrested and placed under guard for a week. With a breathtaking event it was. What a breathtaking event it was. As your local personal advisor, I suggest that you obtain a souvenir from the sellout. Unfortunately, it has since ended, but Boniface Mercurio himself invites our reader to visit his home and purchase one of his paintings. You will find him at the address Hermes. Address Hermes Avenue between Scarlet Street and Olive Street in Old City. Alright. So we got the address. Let me see the address again.
Mr. Holmes, I have something for you.
Sure, ma'am.
Mr. Holmes, I see what you're up to. Mysterious stranger pursues betrothed woman. But please, let us keep things professional. I have in my possession an envelope containing details of a special assignment for you. Tell me, are you interested?
Yes, I am.
I believe I am, but to be very clear, Miss Sertle, my interest extends to the message and not the messenger.
So he claims he's not a gal sneaker, seducing women everywhere he goes. Perhaps the truth is even more scandalous?
Please spare me the speculation and return to the matter at hand.
A gang of smugglers, the Eels, have Codona in their clammy grip. The British Empire can abide it no longer. Mycroft insists they be disbanded. But this organization only falls with the capture of their odious leader, Friedrich Panzer. And note well, I did say capture, not kill. Inside your envelope is a map marked with the Eels' warehouses. But alas, we do not know in which Friedrich Panzer resides.
So even Mycroft has his limits.
Indeed. You must be sure to identify the correct warehouse before entering. Because once one is compromised, the other's occupants will scatter. Here are all the files, and feel free to use the archive too. Again, do not enter the wrong location, nor see any harm done to Friedrich Panzer.
Miss Ertl, if you're quite done with the redundant instructions, I shall get to work.
Well, that's perfect. Tortured hero lashes out after rejected romance. Tomorrow's edition will be a sensation.
Okay. So there is a new case. We'll do this case later on. One is this and the other is eel hunting. Yes, we'll definitely do these two cases. But before that, let's proceed with the Muse. The Muse from abroad. I think it is here. Let's go.
Seni görmek güzel.
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, but I never heard of this.
Bakın kim?
Help me, please.
I can't help you, friend.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Merhaba.
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, ma'am. I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass. No visitors allowed.
I wish to buy a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at...
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind. Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead? Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only. If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you to the police.
Nice affordable clothes. Let's pick something that suits you.
Let's see. Official white.
A good choice. A good choice in.
Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah, old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake! How many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please, accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
Thank you. My God. Inside Mercurio's flat, a dead body. Oh, my goodness. So guys, in this game, if you solve one mystery, another mystery continues. It is really shocking to me. So Mercurio is dead. So guys, after entering Mercurio's flat, we have discovered a dead body. We will investigate this in our next part. That's all from 9th part of Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. In this channel, you will watch and enjoy latest games walkthrough in the hardest difficulty available, part by part till the end. We need your support guys. Please do like, subscribe and share the video. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We would love to hear from you guys and wholeheartedly appreciate your valued feedback. Dyutam Joy from Dauntless Dyutams signing out. See you in the next part. Till then, take care and stay alert like Sherlock.